Hello students, welcome to All Force e-learning channel. This is K. Nageshwar Rao, your physics faculty. Today we are about to deal with session number 93 in current electricity chapter. Okay, so let us proceed with the class. Let us have a quick glance of previous sessions. We have started with the combination of resistors, series combination, parallel combination, series combination. This is how it appears, parallel combination. This is how it appears. I have taken 3 resistors here and 3 resistors here. Okay, the effective resistance in case of series combination is expressed as R1 plus R2 plus R3. If you take n resistances, then R1 plus R2 plus R3 plus so on Rn. In case of parallel combination, effective resistance is written as 1 by R is equal to 1 by R1 plus 1 by R2 plus 1 by R3. If n resistors are there, plus so on 1 by Rn. If you have taken only 2 resistances in parallel combination, equivalent resistance is expressed as R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. And in case of series combination, current through all resistors is same. Okay, whereas potential drop across the different resistors will be different. In case of parallel combination, unlike in the case of series combination, here potential difference will be same, whereas currents passing through different branches will be different. If at all, if all are of same resistance, then currents passing through each branch will be same. Here also, if all are in case of series combination also, if all these 3 resistors are of same resistance, then potential drop across each resistance will be same. We'll assume that 2 resistors of different resistance were taken in series combination, only 2. Okay, if that is the situation, potential drop across the first resistance is written as V1 is equal to VR1 by R1 plus R2, and potential drop across the second one is written as V2 is equal to VR2 by R1 plus R2. If V1 is considered, R1 will appear in the numerator. V2 is considered, then R2 appears in the numerator. Similarly, let us say there is a parallel combination with the 2 resistors. Current through first resistor or the upper one, I1 is equal to I into resistance of the lower branch or second branch, IR2 by R1 plus R2. Or I2 is equal to IR1 by R1 plus R2. See here, for I1 you are having R2. For V1 here you are having R1, 1, 1, but whereas here 1, 2. So when you compare these equations, it would be very easy to remember things. Now let us consider this circuit. In this circuit, this is a small excerpt from the circuit, a part of the circuit. 3 resistances are there, but as we see this, it's not clearly identifiable whether they are in series combination or in parallel combination. Okay, see, in case of series combination, one end of the resistor is connected to the other end. Like that, the ends are joined and you will have a series combination. But whereas in case of a parallel combination, one set of ends of all the resistances are connected to one point, the other set of ends are connected to another common point. If that is how the arrangement is, you can consider that combination as parallel combination. Okay, now see here, for the first resistance, one end is connected to point B. For the second resistance, the second end, this end is connected to point B. And for this third resistance, this end is also connected to point B. Now the other end of the first resistance is connected here at point A. The other end of the second resistance is also connected to point E. The other end of this resistance, last resistance, is also connected to point E. It means one set of ends are connected to one point, the other set of ends are connected to another point. It means this combination is parallel combination. All are identical. We'll assume like that. It means all are having same resistance. If that is the situation, 1 by R equivalent can be written as 1 by R plus 1 by R plus 1 by R according to this equation. This is equal to 3 by R. Therefore, R equivalent is R by 3. Okay, based on this, let us try to solve one small problem. Look at this arrangement. 3 ohm resistors, 3 are taken in parallel combination. 6 ohm resistances, 3 are taken in parallel combination. And this bunch is in series with this bunch. So the effective resistance of this combination, we can find out using this equation. R equivalent is R by 3. How much is R here? 3 ohms. 3 by 3, 1. And here how much is the resistance? 6. 6 by 3, 2. So what you will get? 1 ohm, 2 ohm. And this 1 ohm resistance and 2 ohm resistance both are in series combination. So effective resistance is equal to 3 ohms. So that's how you can handle the problems. Let us consider one more question. So here a small circuit is given. A total current of 2.7 amps is flowing in the circuit, and these are the resistors given in the circuit. If you see this 4 ohm resistance and 6 ohm resistance, 8 ohm resistance, these three are connected in series, and this entire bunch is parallel to 9 ohm resistance. So it's like R1, the total resistance, the bottom one is R2. The question is, what is the potential difference between A and B? See, whatever potential difference is there across this 4, 6, 8 combination, that is nothing but a potential difference between A and B, because A is at one end of this bunch and B is at the other end. So if I am talking about potential difference across all these three resistors, it's nothing but potential difference between A and B. So let us make use of this equation. If at all, if you wanted to find out a potential difference across this upper branch, that is written as current flowing through this one multiplied with resistance. Resistance is known to us 4 plus 6, 10 plus 8, 18. But we don't know how much current is flowing through this one. That current flowing through the upper branch can be calculated like this. I1 is equal to IR2 by R1 plus R2. Here R2 is what? 9 ohms. Just some time before we have discussed about this one. R1 plus R2. R1 is 18. R2 is 9. Let us substitute. I total current is 2.7 into R2 is 9. R1 is 18. 18 plus 9. You will get 0.9 amperes is the current entering into this upper branch. Into the bottom branch, how much current will pass? 2.7 minus 0.9. Okay, that's what flows. Now let us find out VAB. VAB is what? I1 into R1. I1 is known to us 0.9. R1 is also known to us. How much is that? 18. So 0.9 into 18, 16.2 volts is the potential difference between A and B. Let us consider one more question. We have to find out equivalent resistance between point A and point B. Here, if you observe this, this 2 ohm resistance, the other end is left free. It's not connected anywhere, isn't it? This end is not connected anywhere. It is left free. Similarly, this 2 ohm resistors, this end is also not connected anywhere. It is left free. It means it's open. So do you expect current to pass like this? If it is entering into this branch, where it will go? There is no possibility, right? So current doesn't enter into this branch 2 ohms, and into this branch 2 ohms also current doesn't enter. If current is not flowing, we don't need those elements in the circuit. You can remove them. So if after removing them, this is how you can imagine the circuit. Okay, this 2 ohm resistance were removed. If they were removed, now see, few things are obvious. 2 ohm, 2 ohm, 2 ohm. These are in series combination. 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6. So now I am going to replace this entire branch with one single resistor with resistance equal to 6 ohms. This one. With resistance equal to 6 ohms. Now this is 6 ohm resistor and 3 ohm resistor. Both are in parallel combination. Okay. So if they are in parallel combination, effective resistance can be written as R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. R1 3, R2 6. So 3 into 6 by 3 plus 6. 18 by 9, 2. So now the contribution of resistance by these two resistors which are in parallel combination is how much? 2 ohm resistor. 2 ohms resistance. So you can replace this bunch of 3 and 6 with a single resistor of resistance 2 ohms. This is how you can replace. Okay, so finally this whatever circuit is given, this can be reduced, this can be simplified like this. Now it's obvious these three resistors are in series combination. So effective resistance between point A and point B is equal to 2 plus 2 plus 2, 6 ohms. The answer is 6 ohms resistance. Now let us have a quick glance on cells related part. If a cell is connected across this resistor R with an internal resistance small r, if a current I is flowing, the terminal potential difference between the electrodes of the cell when the cell is undergoing discharge is written as E minus IR. Okay, this terminal potential difference, it is less than the absolute potential difference between the electrodes of cell when it is not connected, when it is not undergoing discharge. Why is it happening? Whatever IR is there, this is potential drop across the electrolyte electrodes. Because when the current is flowing through the circuit, even electrolyte electrodes which are present inside the cell, they too will offer some resistance, right? If they are offering some resistance, some potential drop will be there across them. So if that is also considered, okay, and if you wanted to talk about potential drop across this resistance capital R, it will be total EMF minus potential drop across the cell, electrolyte and the electrodes. Okay, so this equation is called as what? A terminal potential difference equation. Very, very important. Now I'm considering two possibilities. So here, this direction of conventional direction of current indicates that cell is undergoing discharge, and this indicates that cell is undergoing charging. If cell is undergoing discharge, potential difference, terminal potential difference is expressed like this, E minus IR. Obviously, V is less than E. V is equal to what? E minus IR. So, V is less than E or E is greater than V. That's how you can write. Where in case of discharging of a cell, E is greater than V. In case of a charging of a cell, V is written as E plus IR. E plus IR, and EMF E is less than V. Obviously, from this equation, V is greater than E. It means E is less than V. So during discharge, E is greater than V. During charging, E is less than V. Okay, remember these points. This is another point that we have discussed. It's about maximum power dissipation. It is possible only when external resistance is equal to internal resistance, and its value is equal to E squared by 4R. Grouping of cells, series grouping. Two cells with EMFs E1 and E2 are connected in series with internal resistance R1 and R2, and external resistance is capital R. So the total current in the circuit I is expressed like this: equivalent EMF divided by total effective resistance. Equivalent EMF in case of series combination is E1 plus E2. When they are connected like this, negative terminal is connected to positive terminal of the other cell, E1 plus E2. And equivalent resistance, it is sum of all the resistances in the circuit. Internal resistance R1 plus internal resistance R2 plus capital R. If negative terminal of one cell is connected to negative terminal of the another cell, then what happens? One cell tries to drive the current in one direction, the other one tries to drive the current in the opposite direction. So the one whose EMF is more, that will drive the current finally. Along that direction only current exists. If that is the situation, effective EMF, if cells are wrongly connected, that's what we call it as wrongly connecting cells, then equivalent EMF is written as E1 minus E2. If E1 is greater than E2, E1 minus E2. And effective resistance, it is not going to change. It will be same. Resistance offered will be same. And one more thing, if n number of cells, identical cells are connected in series, effective EMF will be NE. What if M cells are wrongly connected? Just now you have seen, if both the EMFs are same, for example, E1 and E2 both are same, effective EMF is 0. If you are having identical cells in series combination, if one cell is wrongly connected, it nullifies the effect of another cell also. It means two cells becomes inactive. If M cells are connected wrongly, 2M cells becomes inactive. So then the effective EMF will be contributed by only N minus 2M cells. So N minus 2M into E is the effective EMF, and total resistance, it remains same, R plus resistance offered by all the N cells, whether they are wrongly connected or correctly connected, it doesn't matter, resistance will be same. Okay, and let us see this problem. Here, positive terminal of one cell is connected to positive terminal of the other cell. It's called a wrong combination, wrongly connected series combination. Okay, so internal resistance of one cell is 2 ohms, the other cell is 2 ohms. EMF 10 volts, here EMF is 5 volts, and external resistance is 1 ohm. Let us try to find out how much current is there. Current is equal to, this is what equation you can make use. So here E1 minus E2, 10 minus 5 is taken, and effective total resistance is sum of total internal resistances plus external resistance, 2 plus 2 plus 1. So 10 minus 5, 5, denominator also 5, so 5 gets cancelled. So current in this circuit is equal to 1 ampere. Now let us have a look at parallel combination of cells. This is what a parallel combination of cells is. So positive terminal of one cell is connected to the positive terminal of the other cell. Even positive cell, you can have wrong connection here also, like positive terminal connected to negative terminal of the other cell. So we'll see how the equations are going to change in that case also. So here the equivalent resistance is expressed like this: E1 R2 plus E2 R1 by R1 plus R2. R effective is equal to R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. And current I is written as always equivalent EMF by total resistance. So just substitute E equivalent here and R effective here, you will get the value of I. If at all positive terminal of one cell is connected to negative terminal of the other cell in parallel combination, then this is how equation is going to change. Instead of plus sign, you will get minus sign. Okay. So mixed combination of cells. This is what we have seen. In case of mixed combination of cells, current is expressed like this: I is equal to NME by MR plus NR. Okay. Here N cells are in series combination, all are identical. So effective EMF is NE. Okay. And M cells are in parallel M branches are in parallel combination. Okay. Let us try to understand what Kirchhoff laws are. Okay, we have seen this one also. Kirchhoff law is expressed mathematically like this: algebraic sum of currents is equal to 0. Let us try to solve this problem. 2 amperes of current is approaching this junction, 2 amperes of current is approaching this junction. So total amount of current approaching this junction is equal to 2 plus 2, 4. So here current will be how much? 4 amps. And out of that 4 amps, 1 amp is going along this direction. It means 3 amps will enter into this branch. Among this 3 amps current, 1.3 is going along this direction. It means in the downward direction, 1.7 will travel. So I is equal to 1.7. That's how very simply you can identify Kirchhoff's second law, or it is also called as loop law. See, mathematically this is how it is expressed. One important thing is sign convention. When you are tracing the circuit, if you are traveling along the direction of current, potential difference across the resistance is taken as negative. If you are traveling opposite to the direction of current, potential difference across the resistance is taken as positive. Okay. In case of a cell, if you are traveling from low potential electrode to high potential electrode, then it will be taken as positive. Cell EMF will be taken as positive. If you are traveling from positive terminal of the electrode to negative terminal, it means you are traveling from high potential to low potential, decreasing potential, then potential of the cell or EMF of the cell is taken as negative. So for this circuit, this is how you can write minus IR1, because this is how I am tracing the circuit. So I am traveling along the direction of the current. So all will be negative, minus, minus, minus. Whereas here I am traveling from negative electrode to positive electrode, or low potential to high potential, increasing potential. So you will have plus. Okay, let us solve a few problems. Okay, let us try to solve these problems. What is the first one? In the following diagram, the potential difference across a 6-volt cell is. So here we have to find out potential difference across 6-volt cell. It means terminal potential difference. If you observe this combination, here this cell is trying to drive the current in this direction, and this cell is trying to drive the current in the opposite direction. Okay. So what happens? Since potential or EMF of this cell is more, this direction will dominate. When that direction dominates, the consequence will be this one. This cell undergoes discharge and the second one undergoes charging. Since we have identified that the second cell is undergoing charging, a cell whose EMF is equal to 6 volts, it is undergoing charging. Terminal potential difference across the electrodes of this second cell is expressed as V is equal to E plus IR. Okay. And how much is EMF of this cell? 6 plus I can be written as total EMF, E equivalent by R equivalent into R. 6 plus E equivalent. Since both are trying to drive the current into opposite directions, the effective EMF will be taken as 12 minus 6, which is equal to 6. R equivalent, you have to add all internal resistances. So 3 ohm plus 2 ohm, 5 into what is the internal resistance of this cell? 2. Okay. So finally what you will have 6 plus 12 by 5, and here 5 2 5 4, so 8.4 volts. This is the terminal potential across 6 volts battery. Okay. Now let us have a look at this question. A battery has 6 cells in series. Each has an EMF 1.5 volts and internal resistance 1 ohm. If an external load of 24 ohms is connected to it, the potential drop across the load is. Okay, so let me draw a circuit. How many cells were taken in series? 6 cells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and these are connected across an external resistance, let us say capital R, and all are identical cells only. Okay, each cell's EMF is equal to 1.5 and internal resistance is how much? 1 ohm. So this is the combination 1.5 comma 1, 1.5 volts EMF, 1 ohm resistance, 1.5 volts EMF, right? So what is the equivalent EMF here? What do we have to find out? An external resistance R equal to 24 ohms is connected. We have to find out the potential drop across the load. See, if a current I is flowing through this one, potential drop across this R can be written as V is equal to IR, isn't it? And here this I is equal to E equivalent divided by R equivalent, isn't it? Total EMF divided by total resistance offered by the circuit is nothing but total current in the circuit. So here E equivalent, all are connected in series. Each cell is having EMF equal to 1.5. So what will be the EMF equivalent EMF? 6 into 1.5 divided by R equivalent. 6 cells are connected in series. Each one is having 1 ohm internal resistance. So 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus and so on. 6 ohm plus 24. 6 ohm plus 24, 30 ohm into what is capital R here? 24. Okay. So what you will have? 9 by 30 into 24. So finally 36 by 5 volts, or further if you reduce this one, what you will have? 7.2 volts. Okay. So the potential drop across this external resistance R is equal to how much? 7.2 volts. Now let us try to solve this problem. What was given? When a battery connected across a resistor of 16 ohm, the voltage across the resistor is 12 volt. So when a battery is connected across a resistor of 16 ohm, how much is the voltage across the resistor? 12 volt. It means terminal potential difference he is talking about. When the same battery is connected across a resistor of 10 ohms, voltage across it is 11 volts. The internal resistance of the battery is. So let me draw the circuits once. I'll take one resistor, one cell is connected like this. Okay, so how much is the resistance? Let it be 16 ohms. Okay, let battery's EMF is E, internal resistance is R, something that we don't know. But terminal potential difference is given here. In the first case, how much is that? 12 volts. In the second case, the same battery is connected across another resistor of resistance equal to 10 ohms like this. E comma R. In this case, terminal potential difference is how much? V1, here it is V2. How much is that? 11 volts. Okay, so voltage across it is 11 volts. So what is the expression for terminal potential? If the battery is undergoing discharge, V1 is equal to E minus I1 R. Since resistance is different in both the cases, current will be different, isn't it? So here I have taken current in the circuit as I1. And for the second one, how you can write terminal potential difference equation? V2 is equal to E minus I2R. E, because you are used the same battery. So E value and the internal resistance R value, they are not going to change. So V1 is given as 12. E minus this I1, current can be written as a total EMF divided by total resistance. Total resistance is what here? 16 plus R, or R plus 16 into R, isn't it? Similarly here V2 is what? 11. E minus total current in the circuit. Total current in the circuit is expressed as E equivalent by R equivalent. E equivalent is what? E only, single, only one cell is there. R equivalent is what? Internal resistance plus external resistance. So here what is the internal resistance? R only. External resistance is how much? 10. So in the denominator what you will have? R plus 10 into R. Okay. So let me simplify this. What you will have? 12R plus 12 into 16, 192 is equal to ER plus 16E minus ER. That's it. And what about this one? For this one you will get let me write it clearly. 12R plus 192 is equal to ER plus 16E minus ER. This is what you will get here. Of course, ER gets cancelled, 16E. So 12R plus 192 is equal to 16E. What about here? 11R plus 110 is equal to ER plus 10E minus ER. Minus ER plus ER gets cancelled. So what you are left with? 11R plus 10 is equal to, so 110 is equal to 10E. Now, I'll take this as equation number 1, this as equation number 2. Let us divide 1 with 2. What happens? E gets cancelled. So you will have 12R plus 192 divided by 11R plus 110 is equal to 16 by 10, or 120R plus 1920 is equal to 16 into 11 0, 176R plus 176 0. Now 176R minus 120R, how much is that? 56R. 1920 minus 1760, how much you will get? 0 6 1, 160. So R is equal to 160 by 56. If it is reduced further, what you will get? 820 0 870. So 20 by 7 ohms is the internal resistance. So that's how you can find out the internal resistance. Okay. So let us try one problem based on Kirchhoff laws. Okay, let us try to solve this one. It's a part of circuit. Few resistors and cells are connected here. We have to find out potential difference between point A and point B. For that, I am going to use Kirchhoff's second law. I will trace the circuit from point A to point B. Okay. So Kirchhoff, according to Kirchhoff's second rule, algebraic sum of potentials across the circuitry elements IR plus algebraic sum of all EMFs equal to 0, isn't it? So I'll take potential of this point A as VA. Since I am tracing the circuit along this direction, potential across this resistor is written as minus I into R, 2 into 1, 2. Since in case of cell, if you are traveling from low potential to high potential, increasing direction, so plus 9. In case of this resistor, since you are traveling along the direction of the current, minus sign will appear. And how much is the current traveling here? 2 amps. So 2 into 2, 4. And in case of this cell, you are traveling from high potential to low potential, decreasing potential direction, minus 3. And here you are traveling along the direction of the current. So again you will have minus. How much is the current traveling here? 2 amps. 2 amps current is traveling. So 2 into 3, 6. And finally this potential, potential of B, it's minus VB equal to how much? 0. So from here VA minus 2, minus 4, minus 3. Here minus 3, minus 6, minus 9. Minus 9 plus 9 gets cancelled. So VA minus VB is equal to minus 2, minus 4, minus 6. If it is taken to the RHS side, it becomes plus 6. So how much is the potential difference between those 2 points? 6 volts. Okay. So that's how we can solve the problems. Thank you, students.